How about Garrett Cook?
Okay, we can try it.
There you go.
Okay, I'm reading from the first section of my upcoming book, Jimmy Plush, Teddy Bear Detective, as published in Magazine Bizarre Fiction, yada yada yada. I gotta fucking go, so.
You know, you have 2 extra minutes. Like when I short.
No.
Until a month ago, my name was Hatbox. Then I woke up as a teddy bear in a trench coat and fedora. I wasn't just a teddy bear, I was worse. I was a teddy bear and a low-down, dirty private dick. The kind of gumshoe you hire when you want somebody found and don't care if somebody else has to get lost. From a hardy 6'1", I went down to 3 feet high, all because I needed money and Plush needed to be somebody else. When you got money, you can be anybody, which was lucky for the no-good, cuddly brown bastard that double-crossed me. Next time a teddy bear offers to pay off your gambling debts in exchange for your body, you'd better think twice. I sure as hell should have. Had I thought twice and not ended up as Jimmy Plush, I wouldn't have been sneaking into the warehouse where Lillian Benzedrine was being held. If I hadn't ended up as Jimmy Plush, I wouldn't be padding around, palms frozen onto the oversized trigger of a custom fingerless .45. Life is funny that way. Okay, so life is funny if you're the worst pulp writer on earth, and you don't have the foresight to think that the life as a teddy bear would be perfectly peachy if I had my memories of my old life removed. This was my 8th trip to warehouses like this in a month. Kidnappers are sloppy in this town. One look at the perpetrator said why. One of the two was a big guy. His face was clenched tight, his jaw square, and he had a forehead he could serve a round of drinks for the house off. The other one looked like a ferret standing on its hind legs, wore a long tie decorated with hearts. I knew them well by now. Halperin's men, Johnny Hideous and Skinny Valentine. Not much for brains and creativity, but I will admit that in the past they had been known to press their size advantage with some degree of effectiveness. In short, men who I'm embarrassed to say have literally knocked the stuffing out of me. But lucky for me, I've gotten used to this body, as much as a guy can get used to being a teddy bear the size of a toddler. And being tiny and made out of plush and stuffing makes you quiet. Quiet enough to sneak up behind a huge bruiser and shoot out the back of his knee at point-blank range with a modified teddy bear .45. Mean enough to do it, too. If this warehouse had neighbors, Hideous definitely would have woken them up. Jimmy Plush, I'll teach you to sneak up behind me. He was right. His falling to the floor, writhing and screaming definitely taught me that I should sneak up behind him. His partner reached for his gun, but I was quicker on the draw and shot him in the hand. Last week I'd encountered these two. I was the one getting shot in the arm, while Hideous reached into me and started pulling cotton out. This was definitely a change for the better. Tangle with a couple of thugs 9 times, and you start to figure things out. Angry and bleeding, but not down for the count, Skinny charged me, and though he wasn't the stronger of the two, I was still a teddy bear. I realized now would be the time to make use of some of the Chinese fighting arts that my chauffeur Chang was training me in. Fighting arts used by the real Jimmy Plush to put thugs like these in their place. The angry hamster kick was perfected by vicious Shaolin dwarves for just these occasions. And sure enough, one good quick hamster kick used Valentine's momentum and size to cave in his ribs. Since the 2 thugs would be more than eager to get to a hospital than finish me off, I untied Mrs. Benzedrine and brought her out to the limo for delivery to her husband, who had tried to open a competing Chinese restaurant across the street from Vic Halperin's gaudy Chinese pleasure palace, J.L. Wong's. Vic Halperin had never liked competition, and David Benzedrine's mother was actually Chinese. As well as hating competition, Halperin hated the Chinese, since his greatest desire in life was to be one of them. I pitied Benzedrine, since inheriting this body left me on Halperin's bad side from day one, and like him, there was nothing I could do about what body I inhabited. Unlike him, I owned a gun and was training in the Chinese fighting arts. For a race of wisecracking chauffeurs and crooked restaurateurs, those Chinese sure know their fighting arts. I proudly brought Mrs. Benzedrine to the door and rang the bell. Nothing. Nothing. Something stank. I worked the knob and it turned out the door was open. I'll go in first, Mrs. Benzedrine. I think something's going on. My chauffeur rolled down his window, perfect to the beat. It was uncanny how he did that all the time. Should Chang accompany most honored Mr. Plush inside? Stay out here and wait. As you wish, but Chang's not sure. Wait outside and be ready if I don't come out. Yes, Mr. Plush. Chang mumbled what must have been something rude in Chinese. I'll have to learn to speak slanty someday and take him by surprise. Someday. Chang was right. Chang had an awful habit of being right. I opened the door, walked into the sitting room, and a walrus shot me in the chest. It was probably just a furry dressed as a walrus, but I still didn't expect to be shot in the chest by anything resembling a walrus. A squid also, definitely a furry, walked into the sitting room with a hand drill. Luckily, I black out from pain easily, and am something of a fainter. Otherwise, I will have felt something nobody should ever feel.